Cool. I'll kick us off here with a little intro. So, welcome everybody. This is just we've only done a couple in-house AMAs, but this one's going to be definitely a special one. So, thank you everybody for showing up. I did say this a little bit earlier, but just in case if you do drop out or have to go or need to listen back, there will be a recording in just a few hours after this AMA is over. So, keep your eye out for that. It'll probably be posted in the social media channel here in the Discord server. But anyway, thank you all for coming. We got some super exciting news. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, it's going to be really, really exciting, I think, for the community and something for collective finance that we've been wanting to do since the start. So, anyway, from here, I'm going to kick it over to our boys, the main guys here, Doc and Cripsom. You guys go ahead, introduce yourselves a little bit, and we can kick things off.
Perfect. Sounds
Perfect.
good. Thanks, Chrome. Appreciate it. Crip, if you're okay with it, I'm just going to dive right into things, my friend. Is
Yes,
that all
sir.
right with you? Perfect. Sounds good. So for everybody who doesn't know me, my name's Dr. Brian, and I'm one of the four founders at Collective Finance. So this AMA today, like Chrome said, is going to be something special, something that we are really, really excited about. So we're not going to be talking about the mechanics of collective finance. We're actually going to be talking really about gold and about being first to gold and getting gold on the blockchain and earning some yield on that. So just to jump right into things, one of the goals that we have always had when we created our C tokens or our commodity tokens was that these would be able to go cross-chain, that it wouldn't just be for BSC or Ethereum, whatever it may be, that it had that had that ability. And one of the things that we've seen recently is some dramatic accelerated growth in some other chains, in particular Arbitrum. And what we started to realize is that there may be a potential opportunity for us to be able to get the backbone of collective finance, our C tokens, and in particular C Gold, out into the market for participants to gain that exposure and start earning yield. And this is something that we have the opportunity to do and that we're going to be launching on Arbitrum. And I'm going to say that again. We're going to be launching our CGLD on Arbitrum. I will tell everybody a little more details about that here in a minute. But I guess I want to explain a little bit about the mechanics about this as well. So number one, this does not mean that we are launching collective finance on Arbitrum immediately. We're still having our pre-sale. It means that this is going to be specific to our commodity tokens, specifically our gold token, CGLD. We're going to be doing this very quickly, as a matter of fact, likely within the next 24 hours. Again, more details here in a few minutes. When we launch this token, it's going to be the same mechanics that we have always talked about with collective finance, in that our CGLD is going to be over collateralized to plus 10%. So that'll mean 110%. When you look at that, that will mean for every PAX G that we have sitting in our vault, we will have 9 PAX G worth of CGLD that will be on Arbitrum. There will be a key difference in that when we were going to launch CGLD on Vertex. And the reason for this is because of the balancer V2 technology versus traditional, let's call it Uniswap or Pancake Swap forks or technology. Specifically, what this is it makes it more difficult to keep a definitive hard peg at all times, no matter what the volume or the liquidity. Now, this was always going to be a challenge for the commodity tokens because, as we said, we planned on moving cross-chain at some point. What we have found is that we feel that this is going to be an even better alternative, potentially, for our participants to get exposure. Because what this means, essentially, is that we're going to be launching our CGLD token in a liquidity pool on Arbitrum. And this will be launched at the price of 1 gram of gold, just like CGLD is designed to be. However, our token is now going to have the ability to change price, both on the upside and on the low side. However, the really important thing to keep in mind here is that these tokens will remain over collateralized. So if there is price appreciation based off of demand or wanting to get in the liquidity pools for emissions, that can increase on the upside. However, if there's price, say there's a lot of sells or a decrease in volume, whatever it may be, and there's a decrease in price on the low side, this will always have an underlying floor net asset value to it. So even if the price of CGLD would fall below that, essentially that gram of gold price, the collateral would still be there and the same, so that the true value behind it would be equal to those net assets or the PAX G that we have there. And what this creates is a really interesting arbitrage opportunity. We expect whenever we do this for there to be rapid growth, and the idea is to increase the circulating supply of CGLD and thus the liquidity, basically as quickly as we can. And we have a good plan for this that's set up. Now, to talk about a little outside of the mechanics, where we're going to be launching on Arbitrum, I think this is key. So, in our opinion, Arbitrum has not only been had a lot of DeFi money and been the hottest thing in the DeFi space, but we are fortunate to have a great relationship, friendly and collegial, with Madrid and the guys and the folks over at Arbitrum. And we were through some discussions with them. The opportunity arose where we would be able to launch CGLD, USDT liquidity on their decks on Arbitrum, and this is going to be done tomorrow. So I'm on Eastern Standard Time right now, which it's Tuesday mid-afternoon. So sometime tomorrow we will be launching this on their decks, which is amazing. So this will mean that you will be able to get exposure to gold with a floor-backed price while earning ARX emissions. The decks, I want to just take a few minutes to comment on this because we are super excited and super grateful. This DEX has had some of the most unbelievable growth that I personally have seen in a rapid fashion in the crypto space. Last time I checked, there was close to $100 million TVL and growing. So this opportunity is one that we don't take very lightly, and we're really thankful for Madrid and his team to have this opportunity. We are also going to be the first and only gold exposure on Arbitrum with yield earning capacity. And I want to say that again, the first and only gold exposure on the entire Arbitrum network with yield earning capacity. And we feel like this is just going to be a fantastic thing, not only for the protocol to really gain proof of concept and provide a revenue stream, but also for all of our participants to get engaged immediately. Okay. A few things I just want to comment here on the end. Our pre-sale is still going on. Chrome made comment about this a little bit at the end. So obviously that is a way for participation as well. I also want to make it very clear here with regard to our relationship with Vertec. Vertec is one of our main partners. We still feel that exact same way, and Vertec feels the same way about us. We don't have any plans of changing that relationship in the future. And I just want to make this very clear that this is an opportunity for us to prove our CGLD token and to get exposure on really the hottest place in DeFi right now, and to bring another piece of value to that DEX. So really, I want to make sure everybody's clear about that in closing. So I'll let Monkey summarize things for me, but the bottom line is CGLD is going to go live on Arbitrum tomorrow, and you will be able to earn yield and emissions in ARX. And this will be open to the public. I do want to give just a little tiny word of caution here to everybody, and this is not investment advice at all, but I would like everybody to be aware. The liquidity that we launched with tomorrow will not be small, but it's not going to be massive either. There can tend to be significant price volatility based off demand whenever liquidity is low. I would ask everybody to be patient, right? We are just getting started. Collective finance CGLD, our C tokens, we're just bringing this out. So everyone will have the opportunity to gain that exposure, but please just use common sense whenever you're going to enter into these positions. So I'm sure there's going to be a million questions. I think Chrome will have a few words to wrap up, but I want to just tell everybody that I personally feel that this is the biggest opportunity that we have had for collective finance so far. We are unbelievably excited. The word out there a little bit on the street, you can feel that excitement as well. And you're going to see a lot more on this topic come out over the next hours and days and weeks and everything. So I'll turn it over. Oh, oh yeah,
I
please,
want to
Joe.
hop in too real quick, Doc. Just
Yeah, for sure.
so everybody's, aware. Um, we haven't been, just thinking about this for the last 48 hours. I mean, we've been thinking about this for well over a week now, and everything's ready to go. Everything's contracts are audited. You can see the man Madrid. He's up here. He's going to be able to discuss the RB deck side a bit, but we're ready to roll. So thank you everybody for being here. And Chrome, if you want to take over, go ahead.
Yeah, let me real
Thanks,
quick
guys.
say I wasn't even looking at my phone. I didn't see Madrid sneak in. That's fantastic. I just want to give everybody a little bit of background too, just so everyone knows. We didn't just meet Madrid. We've had an ongoing friendly and collegial relationship with Madrid for a long, long time, and we've been through a lot of good and a lot of bad times together, and sort of so it's really important that everybody knows that about our relationship, that there's really some character that's built there. And Madrid, while we got you here in front of everybody, I just want to say thank you from the collective finance team. We are to say we're excited to be putting it mildly. So the floor is yours, my friend.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
man.
ahead, brother.
I'm overjoyed. Like some of you guys may know me, some may not. But been good friends with the whole core team here at Collective Finance for quite some time. We've built something extremely beautiful on Arbitrum, and the evidence of that is pretty easily seen. You don't become the largest DEX on the biggest chain at the moment without people catching notice, and so one of my main thoughts when we were doing this, and I knew that I'm a part of Vertec as well. I saw the opportunity, for collective finance and C Gold, and I told Doc when I launched RBDEX that I wanted collective to come to Arbitrum and to launch on our decks. Because I, just like every one of you guys, see the opportunity, see the value in a gold collateralized token, and it's something really, really special. And that's something that I wanted not only for Arbitrum investors, but our investors on our exchange to have that exposure to. So that's something. We're the only DEX that does the 100% of every one of our swap fees goes back to the investors, and we're going to be able to say we're the one and only place that you can buy and sell gold on Arbitrum as well. And so I think that with the exposure that we have, the light that we have, being able to combine that with another unique protocol and system with Seagold is not only going to do tremendously for collective, but it's going to be something very exciting for us to be able to offer unique compared to other dexes or other projects. So that's something I'm extremely, extremely excited about. I can tell you that, we do blue chip stakers, so they're real yield stakers where we take our swap fees and we buy Bitcoin, wrapped ETH, USDC, and then you can stake your ARX tokens. I can tell you, you will most likely see, I can guarantee you that you will see a place where you can earn gold as well. So that will become part of our weekly purchasing of, we go through and we take all our swap fees and we buy Bitcoin wrapped ETH and USDC, and we just added the ARB governance token, and we'll be adding CGLD to that weekly purchase and disbursement to our investors as well. So it's really, really exciting. I'm thrilled that we're able to, the first project that, this is the first project technically that we are bringing on that's launching. We didn't have our launch pad officially ready for this, but we can use that in the future for the other parts of collective finance for sure. And we're just overjoyed and we're really, really excited. And I think that collective finance is definitely going to be an extremely well-known big player in this field for sure. And so I'm excited for you guys to be with us.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is one of those things that's, for everybody out there, we've worked together for so long. It's really, I don't want to put words in everybody else's mouth, but I think it's really fulfilling when you're able to do this stuff with people that you know well and you trust and you want to see succeed and you can help support them, right? So I think it's important that everybody knows that this is going to be a long-term relationship, right? And just like the things Madrid said, and where is thankful and grateful to be there, as Madrid said, to have us. So, and I'll tell you this: if you haven't been over there yet, you need to go check that out, like right now when you're done with the the AMA. So, all right, Chrome, we'll kick it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Madrid. That was so great. And we appreciate you coming up here. We appreciate the opportunity to work with you. It's pretty cool having, two fully docs teams working together. It's all about transparency and trust for us and our communities. So the synergies there, it's all about, safety. And I respect you guys for that. And I was there for the community call you guys did, seeing everybody up on there. So that was super nice to see. Yeah, so congrats on that. Everything's been going super successful, super great. So real quick, I'm just going to run over some of the key points here, just to keep everybody refreshed and reminded, and then we'll go over maybe some questions and bring some other people up. But real quick, so just to remember that the CGLD token on ARB is not going to function like our regular C tokens written in the white paper. We're going to be updating it, adding a little section explaining this token specifically, but it will not be hard pegged to a price. It's going to be more open market and freely tradable, though collective finance will be doing everything we can to maintain that floor and keep it within range of its collateral, right? So you could be trading it for a discount and you can be selling it for a premium, everything like that. Make sure you're following that. We'll also most likely be getting the D app up very soon to display some information regarding that. So users can better identify, the circulating supply, the amount of collateral, what the actual floor price is at current market rate, as well as what's the current price of CGLD on Arbitrum. That way it's a little bit easier for users to kind of see the differences in game and participate in the way that they feel is comfortable. The collateral is always going to remain 100% to 110%, fully collateralized by PaxG sitting on Ethereum. We already have that live sitting in a Gnosis safe vault on Ethereum. That is linked in this server as well as in the white paper. You can go check that out. I think that's essentially it for most of what we got. Super excited. Thanks everybody up here. If there's anybody that wants to ask some questions, maybe raise their hand, we can start to jump into that unless any of the guys up here got anything else they want to add in.
No, I think some questions would be great. Crip, Madrid, anything? You guys good?
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't have anything. I will throw in, you'll be earning ARX and wrapped ETH as well for CGLD LPs. So I heard you mention the ARX, but don't forget you guys also will be earning straight Ethereum as well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
very important to note the real yield aspect. Yeah, that's you're not just getting the DEX tokens, but you're actually getting Ethereum as well, which is the native token for Arbitrum. So it's really useful. There is one question about what is the utilities, and so I think that'll be really, really good to quickly touch up on, and basically what you can do for you can acquire some C Gold tokens and you can hold them to gain the exposure as well as the price appreciation to the gold, or you can create liquidity and you can stake that on the Arbidex to start capturing some of the dual token emissions. Is that correct, Madrid? You have to stake it to capture those?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, that'll be it. You can go ahead, create liquidity, stake it on the DEX, and start earning some real yield. This will be the only place on Arbitrum and one of the only places in DeFi that you could gain exposure to gold as well as earn yield on that asset. So we think this is a pretty cool and unique opportunity. Somebody asked, what is the staking APY? I think it's going to be variable unless Madrid has anything he can comment on for potential launch price ranges.
So initially, you'll be looking at, I mean, at minimum, it'll be, well over 300 to 400%. We do kind of, it is a variable rate. So as more TVL is added, we'll, continue to adjust emissions, keep it attractive. I think the main goal is to have it receiving higher yield and emissions at the start so that liquidity can be quickly deepened and attract investors into that pool. And so as TVL is added, we'll continue to kind of raise it up to a standard level essentially, and then from there that'll just be where it's at. But you can expect it to be the highest on the platform outside of our native LP for sure when it launches.
Let me add to
Fantastic.
what Madrid said here, just to clarify. When you're talking about earning yield on gold, you're lucky if you get in like the single digits, right? It's usually the low single digits. So when you're talking about earning APRs in those type of ranges that Madrid said, it's I would venture to say pretty much unheard of, So to get that with gold exposure if gold is appealing to you, then to get it with that type of juice sure will be as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well said. I think it's going to be pretty robust in the beginning stages, so definitely watch out. But as well, make sure to keep your eye that you're not, not financial advice, but better to not be buying well over the collateralization ratio because that's just not optimal. But anyway, we do have people with their hands up here, so I'm going to invite somebody up. Last Kenpa. I'm just going to say last. There you go. Sent you an invite, so come on up. Hello.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, man, it's pretty good. Though it's been a long while since I attended a Discord anyway. But yeah, okay. Something that I had to ask is this over collateration that is happening. It's for every chain. I think it is on multiple chain already, right? Sorry, I'm new to the community, so I'm not aware about the things. Is it for every chain, or this 100% to 110%, or it could vary as multiple chains get added? I think Arbitrum is the third chain you guys are getting on.
So this will actually, I'll take this one. This will actually be the first time CGLD is initiated on any chain, right? So this will be, for lack of a better term, the virgin sailing for CGLD. What to answer your question sort of a little deeper, the collateral that we have, you can see it's held. It can be held likely now either on Ethereum or on Arbitrum in the form of PAX G. In order to go cross chain, what we do is we would actually be able to mint, right? That's how it works. So the collateral could all be held in one spot. The collateral wouldn't have to be broken up per chain, right? And then you have the ability to do one of two things to go cross chain, either wrapping as would be traditionally, or you could potentially mint CGLD onto the other chain via contract. So if and when the time comes that we move cross chain, those are two potential mechanisms by which it could be done.
All right. Other thing that I had to ask is about the NFTs. As I've said, I wasn't aware about multiple chains. And yeah, you're saying it is the first one. So yeah, going ahead with it. the NFT factor that is coming in with 1 to 5% of it going to rewards and everything, that is coming from tax, right? Or will it have a certain impact on the gold ratio? To be honest, I have been a very fundable investor in gold. I do invest in FEB, sovereign gold bonds for last 8 to 9 years, and it is well. If you compare it with crypto, it's, yeah, of course, the growth in crypto is much higher, but the growth in gold is much more stable. At least I know that my money is secure, even if it is with government. But I'm sure that my money is at least secured there, right? In crypto, I could just lose anything and anytime. I am not sure of it. So just confirming with the NFTs, what benefits I'm getting, because it hasn't been touched in the MA yet. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's important to note we have two different types of NFTs right now. We have our angel NFTs and then we have our pre-sale NFTs. So like I mentioned before, our pre-sale still live, going on at least as of right now through Friday, right? The angel NFTs have special benefits to them that everything is sort of in the white paper and some of the infographics you can see out there. The benefits to the pre-sale NFTs, the same thing. Now, we are not going to be issuing the pre-sale NFTs immediately tomorrow when we launch CGLD, because the pre-sale hasn't ended and we're not launching collective finance, right? So the pre-sale NFTs are still in play and they will be applicable whenever we launch collective finance as a protocol. The gold from those we will have that basically set aside, right? Whether it's for the pre-sale NFTs or the angel NFTs, that is essentially taken out of the profits, put into its own wallet or contract, and then distributed accordingly. So hopefully that answers all parts of your question, my man.
It does. If I'm allowed to, I'll just ask about portfolio as well. If the management is done by the team, so how is that? Like, what is going in the background for the portfolio? Will there be a sort of a selling? Because I don't think that uh, for anything that is invested in gold, there should be much of selling and buying going on continuously. It's a buy thing and leave it thing. So yeah, I want to understand more about what is being managed in the portfolio. If there has to be a
Yeah,
statement or a comment on that.
yeah, absolutely. And by the portfolio, you mean that portion of collective finance that generates revenue? Is that what you're referencing?
Yes, I do.
Yep, perfect. So yeah, so that is basically going to be, when you look at it, collection of on-chain assets producing outside revenue for the protocol, and it's initially going to be managed and initiated by the core team. But then we've also developed something with our seed and angel raise that's called our Angels Table, and really they act as like a de facto advisory board or almost sort of watered down board of directors. So with any of our portfolio investments, what we do is we have a discussion with our Angels Table. We get recommendations, due diligence, guidance, and then that would be the initial part that we would to guide the portfolio. Down the road, I think we hope that governance through XCLF could be incorporated on that decision as well. But right now and from start, it'll be the primary responsibility of the core team as well as the Angels Table.
If I may ask, what other things you are investing in except from the native coins and the gold? Will there be something else added to it?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Could you say it again?
Yeah, for the portfolio management, just want to make sure that apart from gold, that is being over collateralized, anything else is there that is being like invested in? Let's say just as a safety factor or safety factor backstop, or let's say a growth factor.
Yes, and I think there'll be a spectrum there within the portfolio. So there may be some potentially super high risk, volatile, say altcoin investments, right? To there could be just single yield farming and stable pool investments, to everything in between, from bot trading to yield farming to liquid staking to potential forex positions, right? So there's going to be a large amount of diversity within the portfolio as well, so that it's not a one-trick pony. So I don't know if that necessarily answers your question or not, but hopefully it gave some insight.
It does. It pretty much does. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time on the stage.
Oh yeah, thanks
you.
for the
Thanks for
questions.
coming
That's great.
Awesome.
All right, guys. I got another meeting I got to go catch, but thanks for having me up, and look forward to exciting day tomorrow.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks for
man.
coming up and have a good day.
See you
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate you stopping by,
See you,
Madrid.
brother.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So there was one guy, Chad Bear, who's had his hand raised for a little bit, so I'm going to send him an invite. You can go ahead and accept that. In the meantime, really quick, we got a question. What time will the ARB launch be tomorrow? What do you guys say?
You know, we probably should have talked about that whenever we had Madrid on here, right? But I'll be honest with you, we don't have that completely locked in yet. But what we will do is we will make sure that we give everybody some time, that we won't just drop it live and tell everyone. There will be hours notice at the very least, both from our end as well as the decks putting that out as well. So I'm sorry we can't give you an exact time right now, but we will let you know as soon as we know. I promise that. We're not hiding anything.
I wonder, hey Chrome, is there something you can do where you could like create an event to where it's kind of tricky, but to where it would maybe, if people say they're interested in it in Discord, that once we knew the time that it would notify them?
Sadly, it has to have a set time when you create the event. So
When you okay.
I could I
was just
could make one
thinking
that
about it.
yeah, I'll look into it after
That might
this.
be easier, because then
Yeah.
they wouldn't have to like watch it. We could just ping them once it's, once we know I kind of lean towards the closer to the evening, but I'm just one man, one part
Yeah,
of the one leg on the chair. So
yeah, we'll definitely be making an announcement in the server as well as posting on Twitter for anybody in like the communities and stuff like that. So hopefully the pings we can get out there that'll announce that it's up. But we do have somebody I think that's been wanting to come up for a little bit, so I'm gonna invite Maurice up here and see. You just have to accept the invite to get up here on stage, Maurice.
Awesome.
Hey,
Welcome, Marie.
hey Maurice, welcome.
Discord issues, classic. You may actually need to leave the space, like exit the call and then join back in. Sometimes if you're in something for a while, it'll kind of break your Discord. Yeah, classic.
Don't feel
Classic
bad,
technical.
Marie. Yeah, don't feel bad. It happens to us all the
Yeah.
time.
I'm not the biggest fan with Discord, I'll tell you.
There was another question out there too. I think about the NFTs. What is the maximum NFT?
I think we lost you, Doc.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my wife was.
Yeah, you're cutting in a little bit, cutting in and out.
From Maurice, I believe, is Caesar calls, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Oh, what's going
Nice
on? Yeah, this is honestly my first time. So when I started back in like November 2021, I made a Discord and then I honestly like got so busy when I started AMAs, I just like stopped using it and then I forgot my old account information, so I had to make a new one today and I just got in for the first time. So, you know what they say, you never forget your first.
That's hilarious. Well, it's awesome to
Welcome.
have you here. Thanks for coming up and thanks for telling everybody in your community about this. We think it's going to be pretty exciting and something that we've been prepping and building for such a long time that we're just like we cannot wait to finally launch the product essentially and start to get this going. But yeah, thank you for coming up. Is there anything you had to ask or any questions?
Yeah, no, so
anything?
like I was just curious in terms of like thresholds or anything. Are you guys going to need certain amounts of volume or anything to come in before you distribute from like a payout standpoint, or is it going to be ongoing daily? I'm just kind of curious on that side.
Yeah, good question. Actually, let me double check. Doc has been trying to get back up here, so I'm just gonna get him. Hey, welcome back, Doc.
All right, I'll try this again. Can you hear me this time?
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that, boys.
Yeah, we got you.
Did you want to answer Maurice's question?
Oh, I'm sorry, Maurice. Do you mind repeating it there? I was trying to get myself up on stage. I'm sorry. Oh no.
He basically said, I mean, I can try to answer his question as well. He's asking about how, basically, is there going to have to be an influx? From what I understood, is there going to have to be like an influx of capital into the pools in order to pay out? And then is that where when the distribution is going to happen, or is it going to happen upon launch? I would say, it's not going to be right away as we're earning, POL, and that's the most important part right now is to just thicken that liquidity. So I would say it depends. I mean, Doc can touch more on the dates, but I think that, it's not going to be immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, the primary goal is two things: is to increase the amount of CGLD that's in circulation, and then to thicken liquidity as well, right? Because as we thicken liquidity, volatility will likewise follow as well. With regard to distributions, that will be different for our angels than what it will be for the actual collective finance protocol and those NFTs and our lock staking program when we launch. So there'll be some difference in those distributions and everything as well. But the idea at first is to increase liquidity, which will be POL in nature, and to increase circulating supply of CGLD.
Yeah, I mean, too, you got to think the distributions are going to be happening essentially from Arbidex straight away. I mean, you heard Madrid when he was on here as well, about a potential APR. And I mean, all you have to do is, go stake in that pool and you can start earning that.
Awesome. Maurice, I think your Discord may have broke again because I can see you've been unmuting. I think you might have to try dropping out, joining back up. I'll send you an invite back up. It's one of the worst things about Discord. It's absolutely terrible.
All right.
Welcome back.
Again? Yeah, we're good. Yeah, so I was just I wasn't kind of asking right off the start. I was just curious, like certain thresholds or points you guys need to have in terms of volume before you start to distribute from like the revenue standpoint. So appreciate you going into some of that detail.
Yeah, absolutely. There's we expect that it'll be hopefully pretty popular, especially on launch. We're going to be one of the only other projects on there. There are only a few other, but most of the pools on the decks right now are blue chip and stable coins. So having something that's a little bit different as well as over collateralized and back, we think it could be quite popular for some of the people there.
Yeah, and I was also going to ask a question with regards to like Vertex itself. Now, like partner tokens or projects that are on the DEX, are there benefits to those holders now from using like your services?
So for Vertex, that's a good question actually. You guys got anything to add, Doc?
Can you repeat that question? Because I want to make sure my answer is correct here. Kind of, is he there?
Do we lose
It was
Maurice
kind of
again?
seemed like an in-depth question. I want to make sure we answered that correctly.
Yeah, me too.
Crow,
I didn't want to.
can you repeat what Maurice said? Oh, he's back.
Yeah, no, I'm back. It seems like every time I mute myself and then try and come back off, it messes up. So I was just curious, like with regard to Vertex, like any partner tokens or any tokens on the DEX, because again, you are growing up the offering that you guys have. Are there benefits for those token holders themselves as they use your services as like or your features as they continue to be built out?
Okay, so you're asking for, is there a benefit for somebody who, say, is holding Vertex tokens or ARX tokens? Is there a benefit within the collective finance ecosystem?
Vice versa. So would there be a benefit for projects to come to you guys and have their holders essentially and their communities like transition over onto your ecosystem?
Oh yeah, if that's in that case, I would say absolutely. Anytime you're talking about protocols or communities transferring over, and particularly when that involves liquidity and moving on to another DEX, right? That's super attractive, and I think there's a number of ways to incentivize on both sides of that. Do you know what I mean? To make it attractive for whether it's the protocol or the DEX. So I know that might be a loose way of answering your question, but I think it's completely manageable without too much difficulty to sort of make it a benefit to all parties, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense, and I appreciate it. I mean, I have a community member who's a huge fan of yours and has told me nothing but good things about the project. So I just wanted to kind of throw a question to you and have you guys touch on that. So thank you so much, Doc.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. That's one of the things I'm actually glad you asked that question. Our relationship with Vertec, and then you heard that we talked about our relationship with Madrid and what they're building. This isn't just like some random thing that, hey, we met these guys, we like their decks, we want to launch on there, they offered us some utility to it. I mean, we have a really, really good working relationship, and we all believe, I think, in the core idea that we can do things that are good for each other. And by doing that, in essence, you're doing something good for all those communities, right? So, and honestly, so far it's been pretty successful from that end. So I'm really glad you asked that, Maurice. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think Vertec is something always worth bringing up, especially with the utility that everything can provide and all of our uniqueness together and our different partnerships. And I think Cripsom, as he always says, your network is your net worth. So always having those established relationships is great. So, do you have anything else, Maurice? Any more questions or anything else? We lost him once again. Man, that's hilarious. One last time.
Yep. No, I was going to say I appreciate going into that, and I was going to actually just defer to the community. I'll get back to you guys tomorrow. Obviously, we have you guys coming by, so can't wait to jump into some more detail then.
Sweet. Thank you so much. It was awesome having you here, and we definitely look forward to getting in over in your community, kind of going what we got.
Yeah, it should be a good one. It's perfect time. You guys got a lot of big news, and obviously with the pre-sale still ongoing, perfect time for people to have a few days to learn, because it definitely needs like those multiple touch points with the detail you guys are bringing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Well said. Well said.
Thank
Thank
you,
you again, Maurice. Yeah, we're glad you came up and talked to us, man.
Awesome.
We got Steve down there.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Steve sent you an
Henry.
invite. You can come on up. I'd love to chat with you.
How we doing?
Hello.
Hey, brother.
But I wanted to ask, so obviously you guys are still launching on Vertec, correct?
That would be the plan, yes. If everything
Okay.
goes well with the pre-sale and everything like that, yeah.
And the reason for picking Vertec isn't just because, NP is a genius. But the balancer tech would keep kind of like more of a stable price towards what PAX-G is, right?
Towards CGLD, yes, exactly. It could help
Yeah.
maintain, yes, based off the tech, correct.
Okay. So that honestly is beautiful, especially if and when you guys go cross chain, because that actually makes it a win-win for all three parties. Because it's going to provide arbitrage opportunities, if I'm not mistaken, which are going to then as well provide people incentive to want to swap sometimes and whatnot, which is going to drive more fees, which is going to drive more rewards, which is going to drive more incentives to us, which then also helps us get POL. And then if people sell those incentives to LP, which is also going to deepen liquidity. So I just was just curious, and I want to say that it's a phenomenal move. But yeah, it's really like mutually beneficial for everybody. So I just kind of wanted to touch on Maurice's question a little bit too, because them incentivizing us also drives like volume and fees and all that other kind of stuff, which I know for RBDex specifically, 100% of the swap fees go back to LP providers. So it's really like a win-win for everybody, to be honest. So one more question: what is the pair going to be on RBDex?
We think it's going to be USDT. So CGLD and USDT. And part
Oh,
of that so part of that
There's
has
a
to do with
reason too.
yeah, exactly. So part of that has to do with the pools that it's going to be routed through and everything, more from a tech standpoint after discussing with Madrid. We had also, it's been so hard to it's like, which stable do you choose? We call them the not so stables anymore. We had initially it's going to be BUSD, and then we pivot to USDC, and that whole FUD happens, which it's just that too. So yes, we think right now it will likely be USDT CGLD. The only two options it would be USDT and USDC, just so we have that out there. But as of right now, it's USDT, and I don't want to speak for everybody else, but I don't think that that's changing.
awesome! I think that's phenomenal. I can't wait to get in.
Yeah, no, that's all. And thank you, Steve, for bringing up those points, because you're exactly right. And it's spot on about the potential arbitraging opportunities. It brings more volume to sort of both dexes. It introduces communities to one another, right? And then, yeah, it can be directly beneficial. When you look at a dex like Vertec, where you can have a position in the Volta, which Collective Finance does, and a lot of our angels do, and then you can direct emissions to your own pools. That can become very, very appealing, right? So yeah, there's an interesting dynamic there too. And this is like super duper alpha, and I'm not going to get into it anymore, but I'll just tell you guys this: we are working on the ultimate arbitrage, which would be a minting feature. So I'm not saying any more beyond that, but it is in the works. So we may have another special one of these meetings sometime in the future.
Damn, Doc, you really got to leave me on the edge of my seat like that, man. Come on. But
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys taking the time to answer my questions, and yeah, I appreciate it. It was great chatting, gentlemen.
What we
awesome,
can
man.
say too, to add to what Doc said, is the coding is actually being worked on for this. So that's what's really unique, is it's actually in motion. So usually we don't talk about stuff till it's done, but we're maybe dropping a little alpha, which is good.
Yeah,
Isn't
hopefully
this the alpha AMA? That's what it's supposed to be,
Yeah,
no?
exactly.
Yeah, this is a little
Time to
bit
do it.
extra alpha here. This is like a capital A, capital A, capital alpha. So it'd
that's
be
right.
like 3 A's in front of alpha or 2.
But
You
yeah,
get
thanks
what
for
I
the
mean.
question, Steve. Yeah, we
It was a
appreciate you and
pleasure, guys.
everything, and your support. So thank you much, man. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Appreciate you.
Awesome. That was
There was
great. So
somebody else
real
who
quick,
had their hand up.
yeah, real quick, I'm just gonna answer a quick question because I did see somebody asked, would there be some sort of futures or derivative features on your dexes which consumers can do leverage trading, which is a fantastic question. If one of you wants to answer that for Vertec.
Oh,
So
yeah, no problem. Uh, sorry, Doc.
no, go ahead, bud.
Okay. Yeah, as far as what Vertec offers, yes, they have all that stuff in motion. We have some other folks within our team that are part of other protocols as well. They're going to be moving over to Arbitrum and BSC as well. So to not get too in depth, yes, basically would be the answer.
Absolutely. The other
Well,
thing is that not only yes, but potentially to have leveraged options with regard to gold, right? So if you have that type of liquidity and those assets on the DEX, and you can offer leveraged positions potentially, just another feather in the cap. So
nice. Yeah, going over lots of stuff today. If anybody else has any questions or anything, you can raise your hand. Now's the time to get up on stage and we can go through a couple more things before we start to wrap things up. Let me just quickly double check here if there is anything else that anybody has asked.
somebody had
I
asked at
think
some point if there was any maximum on the amount of NFTs you could get in the pre-sale. And the answer is no until you would hit the max NFT, and you're eligible to get one NFT per $1,000 contributed into the pre-sale. But it's also important to note that to be eligible for those NFTs, you're going to need to lock your pre-sale position into XCLF under one of our platforms. So just so everybody has that. So I guess theoretically you could come into the pre-sale and buy all the NFTs for yourself, but it would be awfully expensive.
Well said, Doc. It would be awfully expensive. So we got somebody that wants to come up here. I'm going to invite you. Go ahead and you can accept that invite up on stage. Welcome.
I hope I'm audible.
Yep, we can hear you.
Gotcha.
I had a couple of, with the collateralization, right? You set it to 105 to 110%. What I wanted to know is now I understand why it is not 1:1. You want to sort of keep a buffer there, but is that something that would be customizable if the need arises, or is it fixed in the smart contract that way?
This is a great question. And so the answer is, the great question. Thank you for asking. And so the answer is no, it is not locked in a smart contract, and that extra collateral could be immobilized or utilized if we needed to, for sure. The other thing to add on top of your point is we feel that we have found some potential options to earn interest or yield on that collateral position safely. Right now, these wouldn't be degen, aping out, APRs. You're talking single digits. But if you are able to earn even a little bit of yield on that large collateral position that's sitting there, it could be very, very beneficial. So we think we have a few avenues to do that, which then makes you can get very creative from the collateralization part. So yeah, great question. It's not locked in a smart contract, can absolutely be mobilized. We could also adjust that ratio in the future if we needed to, say, for example, for something like minting. So yeah, hopefully that answers.
That answers. So wonderful. Good to know that it's not locked, because definitely there's some scope to play around with that when needed. My second question is a simple one. I see one can have multiple investments in the protocol itself, and a NFT will be generated for each of their investments. Now, is there a way, say a year down the line, I've made 4 or 5 different investments, and now I have 5 NFTs. Is there a way to sort of merge these NFTs so I can view everything under one NFT, or attach everything to one NFT instead of having to manage 5 NFTs for my 5 investments?
Okay, yes,
Yeah,
that's a good point. Can I cover this one, Doc? Now let me make sure that we're talking about the same thing. So there's a pre-sale NFT, and then there's the CLF XCLF position that's represented as an NFT.
Yeah, I'm talking
Which
about
one
the
are you
XCLF
talking about?
NFT.
Okay, that's what
The
I thought.
XCLF one.
So yes, they can be merged, and they can once you merge those positions, you'll have to select. If I'm not mistaken, there's a tier that they'll all fall under. Does that make sense? So if you could take some and you could spread them out, like if you have like 3 of them that are, I shouldn't say that. That doesn't make so much sense. So say you had 5, right? And you had 1 at, or 2 at 30, 2 at 60, and 1 at 180. You could take those 2 at 30 and combine them and then reset that position, or you could take the 2 at 60, combine them, reset that position, or you see what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? So yes, you can.
Tier, I can combine them.
Yes, exactly. It would reset
exactly.
the lock, but you can combine them.
Yes, they would reset the lock exactly like Cripsop said. You explained that real well, Crip. And I got to tell you honestly, again, not financial advice, but to me, if you put everything into one, you might sort of be defeating the purpose of that XCLF position having a market of its own or some liquidity, right? Like there is intrinsic value to those positions when they have a different expiration date. in the different time tiers, depending on what the volume of deposits are in those time tiers. So it might be easier to manage if it was all rolled into one, but I don't know if it would be in your best interest from an investor standpoint, if that makes sense.
Yeah, got it. I was only thinking about the managing part of it, but yeah, if there are different tiers with different expiration dates, it's better to leave them as they are. And like you said, merge them, but otherwise leave them alone. Yep, got it. Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate the answer.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
No, yeah, thank you. That's great.
Thanks
Yeah,
for the
that's
question, man. That's a good one. Sorry, Doc. That was a really great question. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I was just going to say it was a great question because it brings up XCLF and how unique that is. Really, typical lock staking platforms, you lock for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180, what it is. You have to wait for that to expire to have access to that position, or at least the value of that position. With our XCLF design, you don't have to do that. The value of that position is represented within that sort of NFT, and thus that position becomes tradable, sellable on the market, and it creates a market of its own. So yeah, thanks for bringing this up. I'm glad we got to talk about that for a minute.
Fantastic. Thank you. So I think we've gone on pretty long here. So I'm gonna do a little quick recap just in case some people might have missed out on the beginning. So basically, the whole point of this AMA was to announce and discuss our C Gold token launching on Arbitrum. So we're gonna be going cross chain for our CGLD. It's gonna be fully backed and over collateralized by PaxG. It's going to be hosted on the Arbitrum, and so that's one of the hottest and fastest growing dexes I think out there right now. It has close to 130 million TVL, and so we got the fantastic opportunity to get our gold token up on there. So people will be able to go acquire gold, gain exposure to, and also create liquidity to start earning yields. So you can create liquidity with CGLD and USDT, and then stake that on Arbitrum and start to capture some fees. And those will be in wrapped ETH and ARX. So start to earn a little bit of real yield, and we're talking, something pretty juicy, somewhere in the hundreds, as Madrid was saying earlier. But that'll obviously be variable, so don't count on anything being like set APRs or anything. It's all going to be based on total amount of liquidity, the TVL, and everything like that. So basically that's that. Actually, one thing quick to note too is that the token is not going to be hard pegged to any price, but it'll be freely tradable, though we will be maintaining that floor price as best as possible. So the collateral will help insinuate and create that floor price for which the token should be traded at, and then that way we can kind of help it keep within a certain price range. So yeah, be excited. That's going to be coming out tomorrow, and some point tomorrow we'll be making an announcement, also posting on Twitter. So just stay active, keep on following, wait for the announcement, and be hyped because you do obviously want to get in as quickly as possible. Not financial advice, but also be wary of the price fluctuations. So if there's anything else anybody wants to add, I think we can pretty much start to close it out.
I just want to say really quickly, I just want to thank everybody for coming and listening. Obviously, big thanks to Madrid and the Arbitrum team. And, just to relay to everybody our excitement, we're about to launch gold. We're about to launch gold on Arbitrum, be the first that you can earn yield on. So collective finance, our time is now, and we're going to be coming out of the gate hot. So, thanks everybody. Thanks Chrome for managing it, Crip helping out here too, and everybody in the audience. If anybody has any questions that did not get answered, it's really easy to engage with our core team, as well as all of our mods and administrators. I would encourage you to just do so on Discord, and we'll get your questions answered.
Awesome. Yeah, as well. We do have a question channel within the Discord server, so if there is anything else, you can go ahead, drop those there. We'll definitely get to answering them. We got our CMO up here, Grady. Welcome, Grady. What do you got for us?
I just wanted to remind everyone that the pre-sale is live on our website. The conversion specialist, that the pre-sale is live. If you guys are interested in getting an into CLF itself, that's live. You can get all the details in our white paper. That's all.
Awesome. How could I forget? Thank you so much, Grady. You're the man. That's our CMO right there. Shout out to Grady. Yeah, definitely don't forget we have our pre-sale live right now for CLF, and yeah, it comes with some amazing benefits and gets you as kind of an early contributor to the ecosystem. So yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for today, unless anybody else had any last remarks. Otherwise, we'll probably close it down here, and I'll get this recording rendered, edited, and posted up on YouTube in case somebody needs to go back and listen to it. So I'll just say thanks everybody for coming here.
Yeah. Didn't mean to cut you off, Chrome, but yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Look forward to tomorrow.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. That was a great time. I'm going to close things out now. Everybody have a fantastic day. Remember to watch out in the Discord and also on Twitter, anything like that. Be pepped. Get ready because Arbitrum is going to be blowing up with some gold tomorrow. So hope everybody has a good morning, day, and night, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.